Hello Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays. In this episode we'll be continuing my rules playthrough of mission S001, where I explain the rules as I go through the actual mission. In the last episode we did the first 3 turns where we advanced my squad through 2 nodes, and the aim of this mission is these 3 areas here highlighted by these cubes. I need to get my squad into there and investigate each of those areas. So we will move on to the next turn. So I move the turn tracker down 1 spot. That's the first thing that happens each turn. I then generate command points with my leader, whose command rating is 4. Remember, I am using cards rather than the actual chits. He draws a 4. So that gives me 1 command point, which I will sit on him. So far, just as a quick recap, I've got 2 guys with wounds here and here. This is my leader who's now generated his command point. My demolitionist, my scientist, are my, what would you call them there, the specialists of my team. And I have 2 fire teams, an assault team and a sniper as makes up my full squad. So that 4 gives me a command point. Last time I determined that I can go through this link. Whenever you approach this link, one of these and one of these here, you draw a card. If it's better than 3, the link is intact. If it's less than 3, it isn't intact. In this case it is intact, so I want to move my squad from this position to this position, and that requires security. So security, anyone with a security skill I can use to do a check, and that is in fact just one guy. This one here, he's got security 5. He's the only one I've got, and because it's a star, my leader can't modify it. That's not so good. But I only need 2. So let's see what we get. So this is the skill check. He draws a 2. He's failed. That's effectively pretty much what I can do. I can't get out of an event on this side because I've already had an event, so my squad's sitting there effectively having chow time while we're waiting for the demolitionist to solve the security problem, to get through that security door. So that actually takes up a turn. So take 2 cards. Nothing I can really use my command point for at this point. No. So I'll use the command point and I'll go down. I've done the turn down and generating command points. I do get a command point, and now hopefully demolitionist will get good enough. No, he's asleep. That's 2 turns wasted. Oh dear. Okay. Makes it a bit difficult. Alright, next turn, so I'm down at turn 25. Command points, no. And the demolitionist, no. We're getting hung up here. That's the 3rd turn. He can't get through that door. Okay, so beginning new turn, we're now down to turn 24. The squad leader, i.e. me, says, right, okay, let's try something different. We're going to try and get through this node here, which is demolition. So my demolitionist will use the demo pack he's brought to knock through there. Okay, need to shuffle these 2 cards back in. So generating command points. No, not this time. And then that demolition pack goes off on a 2 or higher. Okay, so let's see. Yes, the demolition pack goes off. Boom. Okay, so that satisfies this 3 requirement. We don't have to draw any separate, and our squad can advance. At least we're moving, but we are going to have to get back to that security at some point. So now I determine if there is any activity at this node, and there is not. Okay, so there's no event, but we have successfully searched that node now. And so ends that turn. Alright, collect those up. We now go on to turn 23. Remember, this is a countdown clock. So we want to get through now this one, which is again, this has got science. I have, the scientist has got science, and he's the only person with science. But his science skill is 3, so he's a lot better than trying to get through the security door. So, command points, nope. And the science has got a skill level of 3, scores 2 points with a 6th. That's useful. So we get 2 points into that, so we're only 1 point shy of getting into that room. But now we have to determine if we still get an encounter in this room, because we haven't had one yet. No, it was only on a 1. So nothing happens there. That ends the turn. Collect the cards, give them a quick shuffle. Okay, and we now go down to turn 22. First thing, command points, we get 1. Second thing, we now use the scientist to generate a science point. He does, which is the requirement to get into this node is a 3. We've now got 3 successes, so my squad can advance into here. And I'm going to stick this cube here to show that we've been to one of the locations. See, there's an enemy. This is on 5+. However, I do have a command point. Okay, let's see if there's actually 5+. There's an encounter. The 3, there isn't one. There's also, there are medical kits here. So I draw a number and I get that amount of medical kits minus 1. So there are 5 medical kits there. However, I can only get, well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 resources, so I can pick up 3. Because I can carry a maximum of 8 resources. So I've got 3 more medical kits. Now I can use medical kits at any point. So what I'm going to do, as there are 5 here, I'm going to use 2 of my existing ones to instantly heal my 2 crew members here and here. And then pick up all 5 that were sitting there. So I've now got 6 medical kits and 2 intelligence. And this node has now been successfully searched. Okay. So we're back. That ends that turn. So I didn't need to use the command point. Shuffle the cards. We now go down to turn 21. However, I am going to be going back on a route which I've been on before, so this makes it quite, well, I should have done actually when I was here, was check that, but I'll check it in a moment. When I go back on a route that I've been on before, it's automatic. I just need to determine what actually happens. So yes, moving to a previously explored node, you draw a random number. On a result of 0, Class A event goes. On a result of 1 to 5, you go directly to the node. On a 6+, the move is very easy. It actually doesn't take me a turn. Well, that was a bit fortunate. So what happens is the turn marker goes back up a point. So it goes from 21 back up to 22. And then I determine if there's any random encounter there. There isn't. I'll now determine if this route is actually open. It isn't. So that route is blocked. Okay, so we've now got the agonising situation. We've got to get either through a repair or security, or come back here and do security. These are specialists. We're being held up again. Well, that's the choices. It's a new turn. Goes back now to 21. Okay, do I generate a command point? I do. And as we can't come this route, we'll try the repair shop. It's the same guy, demolitionist, and he's got repair of 5. Not good enough. The scientist can't help him on this particular situation, so that's my turn over. Go down to turn 20. No, that's not quite true. There is a chance on a 1 there's been an encounter. There wasn't. Okay. You've got to remember, you still, if you haven't had an event at a node, there is always a chance of 1, and you've got to draw each time. Okay, so still trying to get into here. Command points, yes. And then try to explore. Try to repair to get through that particular door. The answer is no. And any encounter is on a 1-8, no. Okay. Going down to turn 19. This is not good. Command points, yes. Go through the node, definitely not. Encounter, no. Okay. Going down to turn 18. Same guy must be getting well sort of frustrated. He can't get through either the repair or the security door. Yeah, I think that might have been a flaw. I needed an extra guy. There's quite a lot of these doors here that require repair and security, and I've got one guy with a rating of 5. That means he's only going to be successful on a 5 or a 6, or one of the plus or the plus. There's 3 5s, there's 3 6s, and 1 plus. That's 7 out of 20. A third of a chance each time. Okay. No command point. We generate a success finally. 1 point. And then encounter. No. Next turn. Command points. That's the plus. I don't need the plus on the command points, but okay. A 6 and a 3, we've got 9. So we've actually got 2 command points, which is no use to me unless I get through. So getting through, a 6. Okay. That generates the second success. Slowly getting there. And then the encounter on a 1, no. Right. Still can't use the command points. We are now going to turn 16. Remember, this is counting down. When it gets to 0, mission has failed and over. Okay. Command points, none. Getting through the door, finally. Okay, that generates the third success. We enter here. I'll put a nice little marker on that. Okay, and then determine this encounter on 1 or 2. There is no encounter. And then it's got grenades. Okay, let's see if I pick up any grenades. I pick up 2. Do I want to drop any of these medical kits for a grenade? You know what, I will drop one. Hopefully that's not fateful to pick up a grenade. Right, that ends that turn. Turn 15. So we're back to this door here, which we got stuck about right at the beginning in the previous video. Unfortunately, there's no way. This being blocked has stopped an easy advance. So my demolitionist is stuck with another door that he's going to try and get through. Sometimes it helps to actually double check the rules. Okay, I have got 2 intelligence points and I can use one of them to give me 2 automatic successes. So I'm going to do that now. Spend one of my intelligence points to give me 2 successes on this door to get into this node. Suddenly my leader goes, wait a minute, I remember reading about this in the battle plan, this particular door. So, yes, new turn. We are on now turn 14. Command points, got 1. Successes, got 1. That gets me through that door. Encounter. Yes, we have an encounter. It's an A-level encounter with a 2. That tells me there are 2 enemy soldiers. That information I got, just a reminder, is from here on this chart. So, we've got 2 enemy soldiers, which I'll mark on here. I've got a command point, so I want this to be fire range. With a roll of a 6, say a roll, draw of a 6, it is fire range, as determined by the fire table. Okay, so we are entering the combat round. So I'll shuffle these cards. I'm going to use my command point to let my guys I'm going to use my command point to take cover, which means the enemy find it a bit harder to hit us. I like to resolve the enemy shots first, even though again it's simultaneous. So the first one gets a 4. Their fire value on here is 4, so that's a hit normally, but because I spent a point to take cover, that subtracts 1 from that card, so that becomes a 3, which is a miss. The second guy is an auto miss. Then looking at my guys, as it's fire range, so we start with this guy. His fire is 3, he draws a 5, that's a hit. This guy's fire is 3, 5 is a hit. My assault team's fire is 4, that's a miss, and it's a 1, which gives me low ammo. So my ammo drops from 10 to 9. And my sniper's got 2. That's 2 hits because it looks at the 3. And the other one's a 4, that is a miss. So that's 2, 3, 4 hits, which is just enough to take out the enemy, because they can take 2 hits each, as shown by here. So they've been taken out. That's classed as an event at that node. And we've successfully cleared that node. Okay. Alright, so we're here now. And I'll clean up after that combat round. Okay. So we're now starting a new turn. It's turn 13. Do a quick shuffle. Okay, so command points, no. To get through here requires science 2. My scientist has a science of 3, so he draws 6, which is 2 successes. That's straight in. And he gives the demolitionist a sly look and said, "That's the way to do it, mate." That means that goes to there, And then 4+ is an encounter. There is an encounter. As an encounter B. So drawing another card as a 5. So we look onto this table here now. With a 5, there are 4 soldiers and a sergeant. It's suddenly got a little bit tougher. There's 4 enemy soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a sergeant. Okay. So we're going into the combat round. Just need to determine the range. Again, ideally I want it to be fire range. I know I didn't get a command point this time. So prior to this, range is 2. So it's melee. It's close fisticuff type fighting. Oh dear, that's not so good. If I had a command point I could have modified that, but I don't. However, when we go into the combat, I do automatically generate, well, say automatically, I get another attempt at a command point. That's what we start with. I don't get a command point. Okay, so we'll start with the enemies firing at melee range. So their fire is 4, and their melee is 4. So there are 4 of these guys. So the first one draws a 6, so that's 1 wound, and I'm just going to mark this to the side here, so it's 1 wound on me. The second guy draws a 4, that's another wound. Oh dear. The third guy, that's a 0, so that's nothing, and the fourth guy draws a 2, that's nothing. And then the sergeant, his melee is 3, and he's got a little code next to him which says he's elite. Apply a +1 action point modifier to every fire or melee check. So whatever I draw on this card, there's a +1 on it, and he draws a 2, becomes a 3, which is another wound. So they generated 3 wounds on me, which I'll put 1 on each on 3 of my teams there. Okay, and now it's me back. Right, so melee of 4 draws a 3, it's a miss. Melee of 4 draws a joker, which means he can draw 2 more, which will be a 6 and a 4. That's 10. His melee is 4, so he generates 2 wounds. Third guy, the assault team, his melee is 3, draws a 5. That's another wound. And the sniper, his melee is 5. He draws a 2. That's nothing. I can't fight with any of the other guys because there's more than 4 of my guys here. More than 3 of my guys here. But what I have got is that grenade which I picked up at one of the previous nodes. So I'm going to throw the grenade, and that draws. I draw a card, and that's how many wounds, additional wounds I inflict. And I can only throw a grenade at melee range. So I draw 1 additional wound. Big whoop! That was a duff grenade. Bounced off the ceiling and went in the wrong direction. So I generated 4 wounds. So looking at the enemy sheet here, I can put a maximum of half of these onto one guy, and then the other ones I've got to spread as evenly as possible. So I'm going to put 2 on the sergeant. So in other words, I haven't taken anyone out this round, and 1 on each one of these guys. So this is a little bit tougher. And that ends that combat round. So we will now go into the next combat round. But now I don't have a grenade. So please shuffle the cards up. First part of the new combat rounds, I determine if I've got any command points. I do. I have a command point, and I'm going to use that. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Let's see the range determination. So 1, it stays at close fisticuffs range, which, okay, fair enough. My command point won't modify that. Have I got anything else I can do? I could try to withdraw. Let me check the rules on withdraw. Okay, after reading the explore rules, it doesn't mention, the withdrawal rules, that will I have classes of explorer in this location or not. I'm going to assume not. How can you explore a location if you go into combat and then you decide to withdraw from it? So I'm going to have to try and tough it out. So we are at melee range, but I do have a command point, so I can use it to modify someone's actual roll. Okay, so I'm going to roll for the enemy. So there's 4 soldiers there, looking for 4s. First one gets a 1, nothing. Second one gets a 3, nothing. Third guy gets a 6. That's 1 wound on me. Put the wounds next to here at the present moment. And the fourth guy gets a 1, nothing. And then their sergeant gets a 0, plus 1 is 1. That's not a success. So they generated 1 wound, which I'll give to the sniper. So that's basically 4 of my guys now on 1 wound. Okay. Then me back. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's move the camera there. So my fire team, it's at melee range, it gets on a 4. No success. Fired it on a 4. 1 wound. My assault team on a 3. 2. You know what, I'm going to chuck my command point there to make that a 3. That's a wound. The sniper is on a 5. Rolls a 2, so it's nothing. So it's 2 wounds that we generated in that round, which I'm going to put 1 on the squad leader. So that takes him out. Well, their sergeant takes him out. And the other one, it's got to be even. So I'm going to put on there. I think that's about right. I'm not sure if I can take another guy out with that, but yeah. So that ends the second round of this particular firefight. So I'll get the cards, shuffle them, and begin the next round. First thing I do, see if I generate any command points. I do. It goes and sits on the squad leader. Okay, range determination of 5. It's gone into fire range, so we've moved back from them. Okay, so with my command point, I am now going to make that as a take cover. Don't want to take any more hits. Alright, so they're now on a -1 to hit, effectively. So their fire is 4. So draw a 4, which becomes a 3. It's a miss. 6, I can't avoid that one. That is going to be a hit on somebody. Okay, next, third guy, no, and the fourth guy, no. Okay, so I generate a hit on one of my guys, and it's got to be on one of these. That'll take them out, but I can use my medikits at any moment, so I'm going to cancel that wound with one of my medikits. So that's gone. I am now down to 4 medikits. Okay. Oh, and of course my return. So the fire team here, so we're at fire now, so he's on a 3, draws a 2. No use. No use. Oh, Joker, which draws 2, so that's 5. 9, his fire's at 4, so he gets 2 successes. And my sniper, his first one's on a 3, that's 2 successes. And the second one's on a 4, that's nothing. So it's a total of 4 wounds we inflict on the enemy. Okay, so bringing that back to the enemy here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes out 3 of their guys. 1 left. One thing that's missing, I agree, there is no morale rules. You know, with this guy, the one that's left, he's just seen most of his team blown away. He just fights on and we just go into another round of combat. That might be something I'll generate. Though I just picked up the New Worlds expansion, and I've only had a brief look at it. I did notice the word morale, so that might be something for me to, I don't know if that's my squad's morale or if that's the enemy morale. So I'll be investigating that further. Okay, so that's me shuffle, new round. Does the leader generate anything? No command points, range determination, stays at fire range. And then we go into the combat. So their guy with a 4 generates a wound. Yeah, I didn't get a command point this time, did I? So, oh wait a minute, no, that takes cover is permanently in place until the end of the combat, or I spend a command point or decide to regroup. So I'm in cover, so that 4 becomes a 3, which is actually a miss. Then it's my guys, fire team A needs a 3, no hit. The other guy needs a 3, that's a hit. That will take out their guy, and I'll stop at that point because that's the last guy. Right, so that ends the combat, which means I've now successfully searched the science block, and I get, there was an event there. Okay, so that ends turn 13, we go to turn 12 now. Okay, so I've got a decision to make now. I need to get to here. Anyway, what I've got to do, I've got to get through that security, though I do have 1 intelligence left. So I could go, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the same amount. I'm going over areas that I've already traversed. So going into this area, first of all I determine command points. Got 1. So it's on the squad leader. And then I move into here because it's a node I've already explored. 6, that actually gives me back my turn. So it goes back up to 13. That's useful. And there's no event here because there's already been one. Okay. So it's a new turn. Put those back in cards. Quick shuffle. Go to 8. Command points. Yes, got 1. And moving into this node here. Yep, that's fine. Chance of encounter on a 1. No encounter. Okay. Sorry, wasn't turn 8. I'll just move the ammo counter down. That was turn 12. Now going on to turn 11. Do apologise about that. Turn 11. So I'm moving from this node to this node. Again, it's one I've traversed. Okay, that's a 1. I think a 1's okay. I think it was on a 0 that something bad happens, but I'll just double check. Traversing a node that you've already been down. On a result of 0, a class A event occurs. On a result of 1 to 5, the squad proceeds directly to the node without any hostile interaction. So he gets there. Again, there can't be an event, there's already been one. So we're all okay. Okay. Now on to turn 10. I'm going to move from here to here. That's my command point. 2 and 3, yeah, so I've got my command point again. And then it's an advanced 1. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that can do advance. The first one gets there, no problem. It's advanced 3, 3 skill gets me there. And it, actually I didn't need to do that, I just had to draw, make sure, because it's a previously explored node. 3 was no further encounter, and there's no event there. So that endeth that turn. So we're back at security. This is where I really made that cock up last time, didn't I? I can use an intelligence point to give me 2 successes. And I've got sitting in my resources there, an intelligence point. So when I was sat here battering against that door and Mr. Demolitionist was saying I can't get through, the squad leader must have been on some happy pills and completely missed that I could just spend that and get me in there straight away. However, which I'll do, there's an encounter on a 2+. So there is an encounter. It's a B force. That's a 2, which on here is 2 soldiers and a sergeant. 2 soldiers and a sergeant. Range determination. It's a 2. It's melee range. Okay. Into the combat round. I've got no more intelligence. I've got no more command points for my leader. He doesn't generate one. There are 2 lots of fire melee. They're on 4s. All the Joker is a 2 plus 4 is 6. So that's 1 wound. All my guys. And on the second guy firing 4, that's a 2nd wound on my guys. Okay. So 2 wounds. And then the sergeant, he rolls a 5, which becomes a 6. He generates 2 successes. So they have generated 4 successes, which on my guys would wipe them out. However, I do have, bang on, 4 medikits left, which I will use to cancel those. But that is everything I've got. So all my medikits have now been used. I managed to soak up those hits. Me back in melee. This guy's on a 4, gets a 3. No use. 4 gets a 3. This guy here, he's on a 3, gets a 2. And the sniper, I generate nothing. That is a disaster. Oh dear. Okay, so at the end of that combat round, they generated 4 hits, I generated none. Oh dear. New combat round. Command points for my leader. 6. Okay, so he has got a command point. Range determination. 5. It's fire range. Okay, so just to show that on this little mini table here, because it was at melee, 5 was drawn, changes it to a F, which is fire. As it's now got to fire range, I'm going to use the take cover command, which lowers their chance of scoring a hit. I've got to do something. So they've got 2 guys. First guy missed. Second guy, 3 becomes a 2 because mine was 1 action point because of the take cover. Miss. The sergeant, he's on a fire of 2. He draws a 3. He gets +1 because of his elite status, but at -1 because I've taken cover. So he's scored a wound. Okay, I've got no medical packs, so one of my guys is going down. As it's at fire range, I'm going to take out the assault team goes there. It still gets a shot this round, because remember this is all simultaneous. So my fire team, right, we're looking at 3s. Gets the Joker, which means I draw 2 cards. At 6, he scores 2 hits. I'll put that on the actual cards. Fire team B draws a 4. He scores a hit. My assault team, his fire is 4. Draws a 1, which lowers my ammo. Ammo drops to 8. Anytime you draw a 1, your ammo goes down. If it goes to 0, you're permanently on low ammo. That means you get -1 action point per shot. Sniper, first shot's a 3, misses, and that drops the ammo down to 7. Second shot on a 4, 2, there's no miss. So I generated 3 wounds. Not very good. Alright, so with those 3 wounds, again the maximum I can do is give 2 to one guy, and which I'm going to do. I'm going to toot this guy to take him out of the fight, and I'm going to put 1 on their sergeant. So he's out the fight now. But that means they've still got 2 guys in the fight, and I'm down to 3 guys. So, because my assault team are knocked out. Okay, new round. This could go to the wire. Not time-wise, but loss-wise. Okay, so I'm down to 3 guys. I think that might mean some of my actual experts can now come in to the fray. No, my specialists can't come into the fray. We've got less than 3. Or my guys have got 3, so that's okay. Or the enemy have more than 3. They haven't. They've only got 2. So my specialists are still hiding. We've still got the take cover in place. So I will now draw for my command squad leader. He does not generate a command point. The range, it stays at fire range, so that's okay. Right, so looking at the enemy attacks, so the soldier rolls a 5, becomes a 4 because of my take cover. That is still a wound. Darn it. And their sergeant, 5 plus 1 action point for himself is 6. Down 1 action point makes it a 5. Down 1 action point because of the take cover. 5. His fire value is 2. He scores 2 wounds. Oh dear. Okay, that's 3 on me. That will actually take out each one of those guys. So I think I can now start taking hits on my specialist. However, my 3 guys do get to attack. It's fire. So this is on fire 3, 4, generates a wound. He's on fire 3, 4, generates a wound. Okay. My sniper on a 3 misses and drops the ammo down to 6. And on a 4 gets a 3, which is a miss. That's 2 successes. That's just not good enough. Because I've now got to allocate 3 wounds to myself with no med kits. Right, let's see if I can allocate anything to these guys. I can assign these wounds as I see fit. So, demolitionist and the scientist take a wound, taking them out of the action. I'm loath to take out any of the other guys, but I've got to take out one of them. Hopefully I'll keep the range at fire. Fire team B gone out. So I lost 3 guys in that particular round. Not very nice. That's what happens when you run out of med kits. I've got to assign 2 wounds. Okay. So I can assign a maximum half rounded down. So 2 is I can only put 1 on him and 1 on him. So they've still got 2 guys into the firefight. So this is do or die. I'm down to 3 guys. Dear oh dear oh dear. I could end it with just me. The squad leader. Oh man. Shuffling the cards. New combat round. Do I get a command point? I do. Okay. That could be useful. Range determination. It stays at long range. Right, so the enemy fire value of 4. Yes, a 5 minus 1. Minus 1 because I've still got the undercover. They score a wound. The sergeant, his fire is 3. 5 up 1, 6. Down 1 for the cover is 5. That's 2 wounds. That is enough to wipe me out because I've only got 2 on there, 2 on there, and 1 on there. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Fire team A. Oh man. Sniper the first shot. Oh really? And his second one. 3 becomes a 4. Doesn't matter. I'm wiped out. So we got into the last node, but the squad's taken out at that point. Okay, well, that's the end of the mission. I was held up by mercenary forces in the last location. Maybe I should have brought more intelligence. Now I remember the rule that intelligence can give me successes, but also I could have used it, if I still had an intelligence point here, to do an ambush, which means I'd have got an attack in the first round without them being a free strike effectively. There are quite a few other options with the orders which I haven't really explored. There was that withdraw one, though I think withdrawing from it before I actually get to explore the location, I think it's going to view me exploring it if I've dealt with an event there, if an event occurs. Seems reasonable. So yeah, I'll give you my thoughts now. So our final thoughts on the game. This was designed as a training exercise to get you to understand fully the rules that I've been showing in the last couple of videos. It flows quite nicely. I did get bogged down in a couple of locations. Forgot about the intelligence counter that can aid to get those successes, to effectively aid the guys that are struggling to get through locations, because you've only got 110 points. I took quite a lot of medical kits, and I actually found quite a lot of medical kits, and yet I still got taken down by the firefights. My guys have got no armour. There's got to be a way, in my mind, that I've got to actually not take so many hits from the enemy, which causes, obviously, if you've only got 4 guys that are in a firefight, and you could be potentially facing, if you really get unlucky, which I did in that fight, 4 soldiers and a sergeant and such. Well, they can get quite nasty. But there were options such as withdraw, intelligence, which allowed me to change the range, the ambush, and so on. And yeah, the grenade didn't do anything on the previous fight, so it did one. It could have taken them all out, which has saved me from a combat round. So I felt that the luck of the cards wasn't with me on that particular mission, but it still told a story in my mind. The narrative kept on going, even though we're just drawing cards, and I am making active decisions when I get into the fights, which node and which route I'm going to go. So it's not just a straight pick up the cards and just hope for the best. There's narrative, but there is decision making. Not complex decisions, but still decision. And this is the simplest mission. So as I progress through there, I should imagine the decisions will get more interesting, especially on the underground encounters where you don't actually get to see what the overall map is before you even go down into the tunnels. So the next step is I want to do a campaign, and I want to know if you guys are interested in me doing a campaign. So if you would like that, mention it in the comments. That would be appreciated. The campaign, I'll go through the campaign rules. I might shift this to using a vassal module, because keeping a game set up in my current location is a bit difficult, but that all depends on other circumstances. So if you're interested in seeing a campaign, let me know. The more comments I get, be appreciated. Hit the likes and subscribes as always. But until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye, Internet.